chance that Dave would practice today, or is that not?
No, he'll be out. He'll be out for the game.
You still play the Friday song at practice today? Is that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
In our world, it's Friday.
Just check.
Do you have any clarity on Dave long-term, and can he come back at all this year?
I do not. I just know he won't be practicing today.
We talked to him yesterday. Do you feel like he dodged one there? I mean, he's talking that he felt okay on Friday, got checked anyway. All of a sudden, he finds out his appendix could burst on Sunday. And
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
If that happened, then it's, you're talking about some serious issues potentially. And then who knows what the timetable is for that. So I just know these take some time to heal, and unfortunately it is unfortunate, but at the same time I'm glad we caught it in time, and it's just something that he's going to have to work through and that we all have to deal with.
How was yesterday's practice? Do you get, I don't know if you worked in pads or something, is it coming off the bye? Did you have one day where you were more physical?
Yeah, we did. We had a padded practice yesterday. I thought the energy, the focus, attention to detail, everything was on point. I mean, it's never perfect. And so you go there or you review the practice, you watch it together, and you make the corrections, and hopefully we've got everything cleaned up.
How much is the extra long week coming off of a bye as well allow you to do something like that and not feel like you're risking guys' bodies quite as much as doing that in a normal week?
You're saying the padded practice? Well, I would say typically in a normal week we have padded practices. Now you have a limit on them, and so I don't think I don't think it was anything out of the ordinary.
Are you out of padded practices now, or do you have any left for the rest of the year?
I knew you were going to ask me that. Thanks, Rob.
I just didn't know.
We're out of them.
How do they use Ramsey?
I didn't want anybody to know that, but not that that's that big of a deal.
How do they use Jalen? I mean, you look at the numbers. I mean, he's basically even left and right and a bunch of side. Does he follow a number one guy? Is there a theme to where he's going to line up, I guess is the question?
Yeah, there's times absolutely that he does, and we'll see how they want to play us. I don't think it's always that simple and cut and dry unless you are. We've gotten into this discussion before with Jair, and their scheme is very, very similar to ours, and it's a philosophy in terms of what you do, and if you're a big man team and you want to play man coverage every snap, then it's not that big of a deal. But it's so dependent upon how teams use wide receivers, and I think especially in today's NFL, you see a lot of teams are especially if you get a true number one, you move them around, right? Because you don't want a defense. A lot of times the number one receiver is your ex receiver, which he'll be isolated by himself into the boundary, but you can take guys away if you do that. I mean, you can play two-man over there. I mean, so I think you have to be creative in terms of how you manipulate the defense and how you move guys. So I think it's gotten to be a little bit more difficult on defenses to just say, hey, you're going to shadow this guy wherever he goes. Now, Jalen's a unique exception because he has played a lot of nickel for them. So he's got a rare skill set in terms of that he can really play anything on the field. And shoot, I've seen him blitz off the edge, set edge. He's physical. There's nothing he can't do.
Tutu Atwell, I mean, they could look like Sean was bringing him along as a returner. Are they starting to incorporate him more? How have they been using him?
Yeah, well, I mean, here's a guy that obviously has great speed and can really take the top off the coverage. So he's a guy you got to account for on each and every play.
Are teams doing anything differently against you because of the way Christian's emerged, or is that just kind of a little bit too new to take into account?
No, I think teams. I would say each and every week you're going to have a plan. I think most teams, you want to have some sort of identity, and it's whatever your philosophy is. But certainly that can change on a week-to-week basis. I would say more teams probably are more concerned with Aaron and obviously his ability, his experience, and that gets them to change more their plan than, although Christian, I know they're definitely worried about him on every play as well. I mean, the guy's scored a lot of touchdowns lately, and obviously got big play potential, great speed, and he's really starting to come along nicely. Again, very, very intelligent, so it definitely opens up our creativity with how to use him offensively, and just the ability to put him, whether you want to put him at the X, the F, or the Z, whether you want to motion him. I mean, the guy is not like most rookies, I would say.
And obviously, schedules are cyclical, but you've seen the Rams a lot the last couple of years. How much do you take from those previous games, those previous scouts, and use it towards this? Is that just the baseline knowledge, or do you pretty much start fresh with this team?
No, I think you always want to know what you put on tape. I would say they're probably doing the same thing, studying us. But, every year's a new year. There's new pieces, there's new players out there, and you kind of evolve as time goes on as well. So I think it's just, just part of it.